It is currently 5 o'clock where I am at, and I haven't slept, but this is what I'm doing right now because I can't sleep. And I haven't been active on my YouTube in several months. So basically, what's been going on is first things first. Um, if you want to keep updates and know what the heck is going on, I do keep my Instagram updated. Follow me on Instagram. It's far easier for me, being chronically ill, to keep my Instagram updated than to do YouTube videos. Um, so, if you want to be updated on that, go to my Instagram. Um, so, first things first is I'm getting a completely new chair. Um, I'll kind of explain that when the new chair comes in, but I'm getting a new chair. Um, so that's pretty exciting. I'm currently in um, quarantine. My boyfriend was exposed. His uncle tested positive. So he's getting tested tomorrow, I think. Something like that. And then I'll know and we'll be fine. Um, but everybody else in his house is tested negative. He's just the last one to get tested. So, yeah. I'm in quarantine, hanging out, not leaving my house, which I haven't really been leaving my house anyway, which is why you guys haven't seen anything. Um, I also have been dealing with a lot of physical and mental health stuff. I've been pretty significantly ill, um, and I just working on YouTube has been the last thing on my mind. Um, Taking care of myself and being as healthy as I can be has been the top priority. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. Um, I also have been dealing with a lot of resurgent other issues that I don't particularly want to go in depth about. Um, I really want to do an entire video where I discuss and talk about the the service dog community, but also kind of the just disabled community as a whole, and what it feels like and the things that happen to you when you're disabled, um, the good, the bad, dealing with the general public. So those kinds of things are things that I'm hoping to do soon. It really just depends on my health and hello. It really just depends on my health and what all is going on if I decide to um, post those or record those sooner rather than later. Which there will hopefully be a vlog going up in the next, I'd say, month or so. I'm going to the Bodyworks expedition, hopefully, fingers crossed, up in Cleveland. That's for my birthday. I've been wanting to go and see it, and it's finally come back to Ohio. Um, and I am old enough now and financially able enough to go and see it. For those of you who don't know what Bodyworks is, I love the macabre stuff. I love human anatomy. I like all of that stuff, the understanding of death and bodily autonomy and things like that. So that's basically Bodyworks is mostly donated bodies that have been preserved, and you learn through preserved corpses. Not necessarily everybody's thing, but I find it incredibly interesting. Um, so hopefully we will be doing that. It'll be Denali's first time spending a night in a hotel. um, which will be exciting. I doubt he's going to even care. He's probably going to be too tired to even function, same, and go to bed right away. But we definitely are going to be getting a large bed because Denali likes to hog the bed. So, um, hello. We're doing okay. Denali's been doing great. He's taken stuff like a champ, dude. Like, I couldn't ask for a better dog to deal with quarantine. I have so many of my friends that are asking me how I'm dealing with things because they're having issues with their dogs, and I I haven't had an issue with him. I mean, he works the same as he did before. We just don't go out as much, which honestly I don't think it affects him as much just because we were kind of homebodies in the first place, and we didn't really go out anyway. Um, so he's been doing fine for the most part. We have worked on, because of the weather in Ohio and how bad Ohio weather gets, and also because of my physical issues that, again, I will kind of discuss. Um, Things have gotten worse, and Denali, we have been working on him going to the bathroom on command on a like pea green. It's an artificial green. Um, at first, I taught him how to use the restroom in the bathtub for him to pee in the bathtub, in case of an emergency situation where we can't go outside. There's been a couple times with Ohio weather that literally, like, it's negative temps. It's freezing. So I wanted to make sure that he had a place to go to the bathroom. So at first it started off to going to the bathtub. Well, um, it worked fine. Denali learns fast, no issues. But then I was like, okay, well, when I have flares and stuff, I live in an apartment complex that I have to go all the way from my apartment all the way out and around the building to take him to the restroom. So it's much easier for me, especially in winter, because nothing is scraped. And again, I will get to this, nothing is scraped, so I have to use my chair. And it's very, very difficult for me to go out. So I use a pea green, and Denali just uses the restroom on it, and he uses, hello, my cat says hello. He uses the pea green, and it gets cleaned immediately and put back in the corner. No big deal. A lot like having a cat box, honestly. Like, it's like having a very large 80-pound cat. um, and in the worst situations, it can be almost negative 12 or lower temps here. Um, I'm using my laptop light to give me a little bit more light, but it can be. I think our lowest temperature last year was not last year, the year before that was like negative 18, and it was like freezing. We were in rough shape. It was not a good time. Um, and actually, in that event, I slipped and fell outside, and thank God, my sister lived with me, and Denali is Denali, and he started barking and pacing and going past her window down the stairwell area down to my apartment door. My sister realized that something was up and was able to come and help me. But had I been left out there in, negative 18-degree weather, I don't know what would have happened. So this year we are taking precautions as my condition has gotten worse. And they're thinking that I'm just going to become pretty much a full-time wheelchair user, which is easier. Which is easier to think about than it is to say out loud, because of my body's inability to hold itself together, and the issues that I'm having with my pelvis and my spine, and including having my neck injury that I got in a car crash. It just, one thing on top of another, and I will not be able to walk without assistance. Um, I have to have Denali beside me to counterbalance, or if I'm going long distance, I have to be in a chair. The only time I walk without assistance is the short distance from like my bed to the bathroom, but there are things I strategically place in my home so that I have things to grab onto and to counterbalance myself. Um, and even then, I use my chair in my home pretty much constantly now. So, um, it's it's been easier said than done. Um, Not to mention the usual service dog community bullcrap that everybody deals with, where someone decided to post about my assault, um, which at this point I've just kind of come to terms with the fact that it was the only thing that I feared, was to people talk for someone to talk about something that was so traumatic that involved Denali, um, and to post it online. YouTube was well aware. I've talked about it multiple times in the past, but for someone to post about it online inside of blacklist pages and service dog community pages, when anybody who knows me as a handler or been around me or trained with my dog knows that it's not true. They know that of what the situation was, essentially. Anybody who knows me knows what went on. Um, and it was really hard. I was dealing with my degenerating condition, and I was dealing with a lot of really nasty, hateful people on the internet who don't know me, who weren't the law that were involved. They weren't the police involved. They weren't there. They weren't my family. They weren't my loved ones who had to come and get me. They weren't there. They also aren't the trainers and the behavioralists that I've worked with. And it's really hard to be in a community and have to tell yourself and have faith in yourself that it's just the internet. And I know that it's so hard because I have trouble doing it. I can't imagine what somebody younger or just getting into the service dog community feels. I couldn't imagine. Sorry. I gotta change hands, my shoulder's locking up. I couldn't imagine having that happen. And then for the people of said page to be flooded by people saying this isn't true, this was posted out of context, this is basically saying like none of this is true. They basically, when I told them, I'm like, this is a legal issue, I said, you know, this is cause for legal action. I said this needs to be taken down, including the people who were, their screenshots were taken. They even DM'd on my behalf saying this is a lie, this isn't true, this needs to be taken down. And they didn't care. And I have a problem with blacklist communities having so much power to one person. A lot of these like blacklist communities only have one admin, so what that admin says goes. And I find that really dangerous, to be giving somebody that much power in the community, and then simply not caring when people are telling you like this is a big problem, please stop doing this, like, and not just like telling them this, but giving them proof and evidence and saying like this is not okay, and them doing it anyway, is a really dangerous It's a really dangerous thing in the community. And the thing is, it's one thing to post and say, hey, you need to stay away from this, or hey, this is something to be aware of. When you have, you know, screenshot upon screenshot upon screenshot, and you have tons of other people coming out saying this is what happened. And another, when somebody posts about something that was a private issue, is almost 2 years old, is already been shown and documented that it's false. And on top of that, it's a legal situation. I can only do so much within legal restraint. And I also should not have to relive my trauma like every 6 months. And then for someone to just. Only so many people knew about XYZ, okay? Only so many people. I knew where the screenshots came from. Everybody knew where the screenshots came from. And the thing is if I can forgive the person who did those things, and we are still friends, by the way. We are still friends. If I can forgive that person and we have a good friendship and care about each other and care about what each other say, then people need to get off their high horse and realize that everybody screws up. Everybody. But that being said, there's a difference between screwing up and showing the proof and the evidence that you did the right thing and you are doing the right thing, and continuing those bad things continuously. And it was really, really, really hard. It was extremely hard to deal with my degenerating health and having to reface some of the worst experiences I've ever experienced in my life. And I have never and will never do that to somebody else. There are people in this community, there are people that I have been affiliated with, there have been people that I have talked to and been friends with and did, meetups with, people that have done so much worse, but have tried to better themselves and to do the right thing. It's about forgiveness. And when people continually do bad things and they don't own up to that, that's my problem. And that's when I cut people off. Like, this community is so toxic, and it's just, I don't really have any friends in it anymore. At all. I have maybe 2 or 3 that are somewhat close to me, and maybe 2 that I actually hang out with, if that. And that's rare. And it's not that I don't like those people, it's not that I don't care about those people, it's that I'm fucked up from what happened to me. And that's not just, one singleized incident. It's just everything. You trust someone and it screws you over every single time. And it's not just one person. It's the community as a whole. These high horse sitting people who think that they just can't do anything wrong. and that their dog has never done anything wrong, and my dog never does that, or blah blah. Shut up. Shut up. Dogs are dogs. Dogs are dogs. And I don't care who you are, your dog has screwed up at some point. Okay? Your dog's gone to bathroom in the house. Your dog's had an accident in public once. Your dog has barked at another dog. Your dog has gotten too excited and maybe, knocked something over in a store or something. Like, we all have situations like that. And for the service dog community to act like that doesn't happen is incredibly toxic, not only to the community, but to people looking in as well. And this whole fake service dog call out bullshit is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the fact of the matter is that there should be less people who are calling out fake service dog teams with little to no evidence, and more people saying, hey, this is somebody doing this with a consistent reputation. That's different. But these people who just get pissy and get their panties in a wad and post something that has really no weight to it is ridiculous. And it's really sad that after someone posted about my assault, not only, okay, so not only, dude, it's not just, oh, I'm thankful for being in a small town. Trust me, small town is really fucking bad too. Like, it's ridiculous. But either way, after I got posted, I am so lucky. I know that there are probably going to be few people who reached out to me who see this, because they saw that post and saw the things that I had posted, again, justifying and explaining, like, this is bullcrap, who reached out to me and checked on me and wanted to make sure that I was okay and just showed their support. And I really do appreciate it, because at that time, like, I was mortified. I was absolutely terrified, and the fact that people just automatically assume without ever even knowing me that, like, I would ever, one, work a dog that was dangerous. You're an idiot, because if you knew me, absolutely not. Or two, to blatantly, like, ignore the rules and regulations. Like, I was assaulted. Denali bit his pants leg to try and protect me, or to protect himself, because he was scared just as much as I was. No blood. No god-awful rigmarole. But I made sure that he was still protected. At the time, he was not a service dog. He was doing obedience training. Did I want him to transition into that? Yes. But he was not. He was in obedience training. And I was assaulted. And I made sure I went to a behavioralist. I went to a trainer. I discussed my protections with an attorney. That attorney also spoke with a lawyer. And I also spoke to the police because of what happened. And again, it is a legal situation. I can't sit here and magically poop things out that no longer exist. My assault was when Denali was 7 months old. Right around 7 months old. Denali is going to be literally 4 today. Happy birthday, Denali. But he is 4. Do you know how long ago that was? Like, and the fact is that it was settled, it all was settled outward. There was no anything. What do you want me to do? Magically track down my broken phone so that I can post the bruises and the injuries that I had? or post the screenshots of the things that happened to me. Nobody wants to read that. I shouldn't have to do that. Everybody has seen Denali perform and do what he does, especially here on YouTube. I mean, for the love of God, he took the public access test, which half of the people who criticize me, their dog can't even pass. I've seen it. It's just, you post stuff on the internet, you post your life on the internet, and you open yourself up for everybody to criticize you. And for everybody to just pick and pick and pick. And then one thing that they found was my assault. And honestly, the fact that they decided to post about me being assaulted should show the true intentions of someone who would post about somebody's assault. And before I end up having any other drama bullshit of people commenting in my comment section, if you comment about any XYZ, any of the drama that pertains to any individual that was involved in that, it will be removed. We're done. I'm out of the service dog community as a whole. I'm not in any service dog pages. I've left them all. I do specifically, I contact people independently. If they want to contact me, if they want to reach out to me, that is completely fine. I will not be a part of service dog community pages. I will not be a part of service dog community meetups unless it is certain people that are my friends that ask me to come. Or I am going that's work related and to help those people. That's the only time I'm going to go. I'm done. I'm done. And it's just, it sucks. Because the community can be so fun, and the community can be such a positive thing, and it's not. It's not. And I don't know if there's just so many really bad people who blame it on mental illness, or who blame it on just illness in general. I don't know if it's from people just being in there to troll or be dicks to just be dicks. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because I would never do the things that people do to other people that I see. Maybe that's just me as a person. But, like, you've got to do some really bad crap to get me to really not like you. Again, the person who posted, who said a whole bunch of stuff about on a blacklist page, we're still friends. Literally, one of my best friends. Because they screwed up. They're young and manipulated and upset and worried. And they tried to console in all the wrong people. And I will not fault them for that. Because I did the same thing when I was a new handler. I did the same thing when I was young. I might not have been a minor, but I was pretty freaking close. And that just, not to mention so many other things that go on that, you know, everybody wants to sit all high and mighty when, you know, there's so many other things that, again, I would never post about, and I won't. But people post about my assault. There are things and videos, voice memos, screenshots that could ruin somebody's life. Not just ruin their life, but, like, ruin their job, ruin their family life, like, and that people shouldn't have that much power, and I refuse to feed into it. I refuse. And the fact of the matter is that I get people DM me all the time and are like, "Did you hear what so and so did, or did you hear about so and so, or did you see this, or did you see that?" I don't fucking care. I don't care. I don't care. Stop commenting it. Stop DMing me. Stop. I don't care. I will not do commentary on somebody else. I will not do commentary on what happened to me. And I will not go into detail about what happened to me. If you want to know about all that, it is out there. It is not hard to find. There are probably like 3 other videos on my channel, or more, where I mention things. Just watch my damn channel. Stop asking me questions and stop bringing it up. It's so infuriating because you wouldn't sit here and talk about somebody's assault or or somebody's rape or somebody's, god awful car accident all the time. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't bring it up and talk to them about it or DM them about it. You just wouldn't. So why am I forced to relive it every couple months? Yeah, shoot, training question, and they are all blocked, but it's amazing how when you block somebody, they magically make a new account. By the way, I see you and I'm not stupid. Change your freaking profile picture. Stupid. Or how about the fact that I know what dog you have, and just because your face isn't in a picture doesn't mean I'm not going to know what dog you have. But yeah, that's been interesting. Borderline stalking, and I've already contacted multiple police departments in 2 different districts and asked them what I can do. And honestly, the thing is I'm in like 2 or 3 other disability groups that are like just disability in general, an EDS group, and a wheelchair group. And we don't have this issue. It's insane because these other groups, we don't have this problem. It's just the service dog community. I can post about my service dog in other disability groups and other service dog handlers. We all like have a little powwow and we talk and it's fine. It's just the service dog groups. And I don't know if it just draws those kinds of people in or if it's just the community that they grow. I don't know. But it just, I wish the service dog community would do better. And the sad part is I don't think it will. And I know that that's like, oh, that's really pessimistic, and I'm usually so positive. I don't have much hope. I don't. And I hate to be, in a. I hate it. I hate it. And it's really sad that when somebody tells me they're part of XYZ group, that's an automatic thing that it's a red flag for me. It shouldn't be, but it is. And, here's something that's absolutely insane about being in a small world. I just got a new neighbor. She's been absolutely fantastic. She has a service dog. I was concerned because her service dog is young and crazy, and I was worried, not a real service dog. I was really worried. Well, I went out on a limb, and, we got to talking and stuff, and her dog is just young. She's gone through a lot of hardship and stuff, and because of COVID, her training stopped. So she's trying to get back on track now and get her dog back on track. Her dog is a service dog. Her dog is through the VA. It is a service dog. Well, she was talking about being in these groups, and she's mentioned one of them, and I was like, it got you too. And she's like, what? I said, yeah. She's been a part of both the groups that are just absolutely awful here in Ohio, and it's just, they were absolutely awful to her. She asked for help. Like, it just, she asked for help, and people just absolutely destroyed her. And it's such a small world that somebody who came from California to join an Ohio page and to have the same experience as I and many other handlers have had in the same group. And it's really, really sad that she got treated the way that she did for asking for help. Honestly, I would find a dog that would correct the behavior, or for you to have her on leash and correct her when she begins to get to be too much. You can also, when she starts to be too much, remove her from the situation and crate her until she calms back down, and then she's allowed back out. Those are a couple other options that you can have to stop that. Honestly, I find that having a dog that corrects the behavior to be the easiest. Dogs learn by other dogs. But if you don't have that, again, having on leash and correcting the behavior, or removing her from the situation if she's too much and the correcting doesn't stop the behavior, remove her from the situation and crate her. And it's not a youngish community. We're talking about people in their fucking 30s. These are grown ass adults bullying children, usually minors. And I kind of was discussing that somebody had posted about my assault on a blacklist page, which, here's the deeply ironic part. This is what I was going to say earlier that I kind of got off track. Here's the deeply ironic part about the whole situation. So, not only did it have its negative effects, but I gained so many followers from that, from people who reached out to me and supported me, and, you know, just were absolutely amazing and gave me resources and just were so kind in that situation. And it's so free. It's so free. I worried for so long about people having leverage over the situation about my assault. I worried for so long. And now they have nothing. You have nothing. And that feeling of being so scared all the time, when you think about it, for it to be over, it's just, it's freeing. It is. And it's a sort of catharsis that I never thought would be something so terrifying yet so calming all at the same time. Especially when people started to reach out and tell me that it was okay, and that the few people that were being dicks were the minority in the situation, who didn't know me and don't know the situation. And if you continue to do it, I know that it can be really frustrating, because again, it's like doing it over and over and over and over again to remove her from the situation. But it really is just repetition, 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 repetition. And congratulate her, or if she starts to do that, even distract her with another toy. because she is so young. Um, but honestly, sometimes, worst case scenario, you have to find a dog that's going to correct the behavior. Sometimes dogs just don't learn unless they are corrected by another dog. So I'm a very firm advocate in some responsible playtime um, in parks and things with other dogs. If you do it properly, dog parks can be a hellhole. But if you're cautious and you know the signs and you stick to pretty small, reputable dog parks, you shouldn't have any issues. I've only ever had a handful of issues in dog parks, and those have been I just stopped going to those dog parks, and magically the problem stopped. Sometimes I would never suggest e-collaring a dog so young, but if it's something that it works for them, I would look into it so that way you can correct the behavior without having her on a leash. Um, but again, do not use an e-collar on her. One, if you don't condition her to it, and also at least like message or talk to a trainer or um, try other things before you get to that point. Because I usually don't suggest putting an e-collar on a dog so young. Denali didn't use an e-collar until he probably was about 10 months old or older. Excuse me. But, yeah, it just, I don't know. The service dog community as a whole, as being in it for a while now, it's not worth it. It's really not. Um, and that even goes, like, I got out of even the YouTube service dog community because there are so many people who are so glorified on this platform that are just bad people. They just are. They can be so toxic and it's not even like that they're just being toxic as a community as a whole, but like they just bully people and are mean to people and just crappy in general. And it's just I'm not I'm good. Like I'm good. Um and honestly, it's getting to the point where I'm really tempted to start doing more disability oriented things and less solely focused on having a service dog. Obviously, it's still going to be a part of it because he is part of my medical equipment. He's part of my condition. But I kind of don't want to be in the community. I don't really want to be affiliated with it. And it's just not content that really brings me joy anymore. It just stresses me out and it makes me stress and relive a really bad part of my life. And I just don't think I want to do that anymore. And it sucks because, at one point it was really fun. But, like, I don't really mind to. And on top of everything else, I'm dealing with a lot of medical stuff that, is not great. And it only gets worse. And there's not much that I can do about it. And it's exhausting, and I don't feel the need to feed into it anymore. Some handlers have more than one service dog because one service dog tasks for one thing and then another service dog can be trained for one thing. So you can have a small service dog to like alert, and then you can have another service dog if you need mobility. Other people have more than one because they have one that is in training and the other that is fully trained. And they still need the old service dog to continue to task until the other service dog can take over. That's how people have two service dogs. Excuse me. I honestly go by the rule that, three is just not allowed and two's a crowd. So, there are people who have, more than one, even, no, more than one, more than two. But then you're usually getting into the area of somebody has two service dogs that are their own, and then they're training another one or working for a company to train another one, if that makes sense. Then you can kind of have those situations. But it's a very blurred line, and I think, like, it's not very described in law very much. It's a very blurred line on that. But I have never seen somebody have more than three. And that's, again, a training situation. Um, but yeah, I also am slowly working through the process of taking old videos and re-editing them. Um, excuse me. Taking old videos and re-editing them um, for several different reasons. Um, I'm hoping I can do that. I haven't quite figured out if I'm able to do that yet. Figure out when I get the opportunity to. But yeah, to go back through and edit a lot of videos that I posted a year or so ago. But I don't know. I feel as though after removing myself from the community and removing myself from all of it, it's been better on me, not only like mentally, but like physically too. I feel like I have more time, and I feel like I'm not as drained as I was. Don't get me wrong, I'm still exhausted all the time. Um, but emotionally drained. I don't feel as emotionally drained all the time. Um, and that also goes to say, like, I was going through like some really awful crap when I met Alex, my boyfriend. Um, and it just sometimes some really nice things can happen in some really crappy situations. So, you know, I just kind of I roll with everything as it comes. Doesn't mean it doesn't suck any less, but um, let's see here. My live chat is being stupid. But yeah, it just I don't know. I I just feel as though the service dog community as a whole just isn't for me. And I continue to have service dog handler friends. I'll continue to hang out with people with service dogs and continue to work with people and help people with service dogs. Again, I'm going to be helping my neighbor train their dog because of COVID and because of everything going on, so that they can go through my friend to get their access test done. So, yeah, that's just I'm continuing to do that, but it's just I'm keeping my circle really, really, really small. And on top of everything else, I just thought I would mention the fact that the person who posted the blacklist also attempted to put my location, which is not only a dick move, but also incredibly dangerous. I already have enough crap on my plate, but posting about myself plus having my location can put me in danger. I am banking off the fact that my past relationships don't know where I am. That my past situations don't know where I am. It is dangerous and fucked up to do that. And to put not only my location, but to also put where I frequent is incredibly fucked up. And they knew exactly. They knew exactly what they were doing when they posted that. they knew the intent of that post. I completely forgot about that until I was thinking about it, because thank fucking God they got my location wrong, because I don't tell people my location, because I'm not stupid. I have never posted my actual location on the internet, ever. And it's why I'm so anal retentive about people who come over to my house and posting photos, to never post the actual location. And the people who know me and are close to me know that. So, it's bad enough that I get recognized in public when I'm out, especially in Columbus. It's bad enough, let alone people posting with my location. So, stop. There's a difference between posting like, oh, I'm at the Easton Mall, and posting my hometown, which, by the way, is literally less than a couple thousand people. I also have bright pink hair, the only vehicle that looks like my vehicle, and the fact that I have an 80-pound dog attached to me at all time. It wouldn't take that much for somebody to find out where I live, to post my hometown. It's just fucked up and rude. You can post a blacklist to all you fucking want, but you don't dox somebody and you don't threaten that person. And I even then told the person who ran the page that it was dangerous, and I got removed from the page for saying that it endangers my location, it endangers my life. But they don't care. So, yeah. Out of that whole situation, that is what pissed me off the most. Is for somebody to just go out of their way to do that. And the blacklist is the service dog community blacklist, and it is a hellhole. I do not suggest. It's just people shitting on other people 99% of the time. Sometimes you get legitimate stuff posted there. Again, I posted there in the past once, but that is because I and 14 other handlers came forward. The only thing is that when I posted that, the reason why I posted it is because nobody else felt comfortable to do so, and they gave me permission to use all of their things to post. So that post isn't just me. That's me and 14 other handlers' story. And that's the Board of Inquiries for service dog gear. That one's not bad. That one usually just stays pretty diplomatic about being scammed and stuff. But, yeah. The admin of the service dog community blacklist is just, that whole group is ran by one person, and it's incredibly dangerous to have one person have that much power. I don't know if you can hear my cat having a full breakdown right now, but she's going full crackhead. Ma'am, what are you doing? Hi. Okay. Real quick, on a positive note, my gear wall has been redone. This does not include my P&L and my Bold Lead design harness. They are put up on the rack out by my door, because those are the ones that I usually use. But that's Denali's new everyday harness when I don't use his mobility harness. But thought I'd give you guys a little peeky peek. Ma'am, can you stop? Now he's attacking the cord to my phone. Quit! Thank you. Why can't you just be like your brother, just chilling over here? Like, literally, he just vibes. Yeah, usually, no, she did not find the catnip. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning here, and this is the cat's witching hour to be a freaking insane cat. Alice! Kiki! Get out of stuff. No. Denali is asleep. So he's not around to mess with the cats and to play with the cats. So she just has a crackhead moment and runs around the house and just acts all crazy. She has a good time. Hello, Banksy. And then Banks just chills. He's pretty chill. Yeah. Usually he's not around much. He likes to hide. Alice is the one that pretty much everybody sees in my videos because she hears me talk and she sees me pull out my phone and she immediately wants to be the center of attention. So, yeah. Hi, Denali. Speaking of you being asleep, did I wake you up? And he laid back down. He was asleep on the couch. Usually he's up here at the end of my bed, but it's really hot. I don't know why right now. I turned everything down a little bit, so it sucks because this is on like a controlled system. So, like, yeah, I can control the temperature in my apartment, but like the rest of the building is a controlled temperature. So sometimes it gets really hot in here when the rest of the building gets really hot. So I'm kind of at the mercy of the building. But, hi. I wish Denali would come in here so you could see his sweet face. Denali! Bubby, if you're gonna pace, come here. He just went and laid back down on his bed. He's really tired. We played for several hours today. It's kind of like Central Air, but it's more of like where I live, most of the buildings are like historic buildings or like really old buildings. So most of the buildings have like a controlled air system to help preserve the building. So while I have air conditioning and I have controlled temperatures in my apartment, it sometimes fluctuates back and forth. It also doesn't help that I have an awful control of my own thermostat as a person. So what I think is burning up is actually like not hot to anybody else. Or what I think is freezing is fine to everybody else. Yeah, it's kind of like humidity control for the building. Hi, Kiki. But yeah, it's alright. I don't mind it. The only thing is I can't really open my windows very much here because I have my cats. So when I do open windows, I have to put my cats in the bathroom so that I can open all the windows and not worry about them just having a run. Binksy, I know, wouldn't run out. He's terrified of the outdoors. He yells. Alice, I'm pretty sure she would go out, realize no one's there, and come back. But I don't want to run that risk, so. Huh, Kiki. But that's kind of what's been going on with my life. I think the last thing that I posted was about going to the haunted house with Denali, which we do every year now. And I'm surprised I haven't gotten very many questions regarding that. It's interesting. Mostly because, it's not necessarily something that very many people do with a service dog. Which there's some very good footage there. Yeah, I'm fine now. Again, luckily they didn't post my actual location, and the facility that I live in is a secured facility. And no, I don't have screens over the windows. Because of how these windows are, I don't have screens on them. I could get screens, but it's going to be a real pain in the butt. So I just put them away for a little bit and leave the windows open. But yeah, the building that I live in is a secured facility. So if for any reason you have to be paged in and out of my facility, like there's no way that somebody else could just enter the building. There's also cameras. I have cameras on my vehicle. I have GPS on all of my things. Um, that and I don't think anybody would truly be dumb enough to break into my house. I don't think somebody would be that dumb. Yeah. Yeah, I have a couple videos of us going to the haunted house. Um, quit eating the cord. Damn it. I don't need you being a crackhead too, Binks. Get out of here. Quit. Don't bite me. He's one of those cats that, like, you pet him so many times and then he bites you. Yeah, that's pretty much how they are. They would have to be, like, very specifically made, because I have to probably... We're trying to put curtains up, but I think I'm going to have to tension rod all my curtains because of how the walls are in the building and how the windows are. So, it's a work in progress. We're figuring it out, but I've already said I'm not freaking moving again, at least for another couple years until I can buy a house. Like, I'm not doing it. I would have bought a house this last time, but the property that I wanted is in limbo, and we're literally, like, waiting for the bank to give us the go-ahead for us to have the property. But until then, I am here. At least as long as I can live here. That and I like this facility. There's some busybodies and nosy people, but it's not too bad. But Kiki, go on, Kiki. Yeah, it's not all of them are standard windows, and it just, I don't know. Oh my god. Oh, my hip hurts. Now, I love this apartment, honestly. Like, it has high ceilings, it's really nice, it's perfect for a chair. I would do a house tour, but again, I get really freaked out about doing that. It just, I don't know. I get really weirded out about doing that. Because there are some crazy people who can find out where you are. And I am working as much as I can to make videos. I'm trying, but it's just... I'm doing as best as I can to make content. And it's easier for me on Instagram to post daily on Instagram than it is for me to make videos. And I have hardly been getting out of bed, let alone making content. And we haven't really been doing anything. So I haven't been making content. So, but I know for a fact that there'll be a video up sometime in February, because we're going to go to the Body World expedition. So I'll have a video up from going to that up in Cleveland. And that'll be Denali's first time staying in a hotel, which should be fun. Again, I'm not really concerned about it. He's probably just going to have a Zoom and go to bed, because that's usually what he does. He stayed all over the place in all different kinds of things, including in an Airstream, which is interesting with an 80-pound dog, I'll tell you that. So, yeah, it'll be fun. It will be interesting to find out and to do, like, the service dog things. And it's not so much that it's hard to continue to train and work. I just... Denali doesn't really have any issues. We were kind of homebodies in the first place. So I'm blessed with a dog that COVID really hasn't affected his work ability. It's more of just, I don't feel comfortable going out. And yeah, I've been struggling a lot with a lot of disdain and frustration with the general public that has made it very uncomfortable for me to leave my house. And it's just only making things harder for me. So I just haven't left my house. Which isn't entirely healthy, but in a pandemic, I guess it is the best solution. Denali! Hi, baby! Come here, needy. Hold on, come here. Oh, sweet baby. Come here. Are you getting a baby? Come here. You're your baby. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. Baby. He's going in there to get a drink. But I don't even know what time it is. It is 6 o'clock here. And I still haven't been to bed. Story of my life. I probably should take medicine and at least attempt to sleep. So, I'm supposed to take my injection, my Amavig injection, hopefully next week. They had it delayed because they didn't have it for me to have this week. So, mine is mostly just the general public being stupid in general. I know that sounds really mean, but in the frustration of just being disabled in general, that has made it incredibly frustrating. Also, every time I have gone out to go shopping, in the town closest to me, the same homeless guy has had the same husky, and every time it tries to go after Denali. And it's incredibly infuriating. And honestly, at this point, like, if it happens another time, I'm calling the police department. Like, I try and be really, really lenient and kind, especially because the guy's homeless, and I'm trying to be as, like, kind and understanding as I can. But there comes a point where, like, he's taking it in everywhere, including into, like, the stores where, like, I'm trying to buy food and stuff, and I'm trying to, live my life, and his dog is continually trying to go after my dog, and he continually passes by me specifically so his dog can lunge and whine at my dog. And it's not a little dog. It's a freaking husky. It's like Denali size. It's a big husky. And it's just incredibly frustrating, and I don't run the risk, and then I have to leave. Because, like, little dogs, usually I can kind of, like, usually I'll leave, but if I really need something, I'll push it and get my stuff and leave immediately. But if it's a big dog, I'll just leave all my stuff and go. Like, I won't do it. I won't even risk it. Because at least with a little dog, I can, like, pick it up or punt it or, like, those kinds of situations. Whereas if it's a big dog, like, that's a different situation altogether. So, yeah. It's incredibly frustrating, and I have let multiple people know, like, the companies where it's happened. I have let multiple people know, like, I am incredibly displeased that this has happened multiple times now. 3 separate times now. So, yeah, they're well aware that I'm pretty miffed. Oh, this is my, Terrortown cup. It's like my favorite cup. It's an epoxy cup, and I'm hoping to get another one made, and it's going to have a picture of Denali on it, as if I need anything else that has my dog's face on it, but I want it. I want another cup with my dog's face on it. But, yeah, it's been a positive and a negative kind of going on. I'm really excited about getting my new chair. Again, I've only had this chair for about 2 years now, and I love my chair, don't get me wrong, but as my condition is getting worse, it is getting harder and harder and harder to use. And it's just become the point where, like, I just won't leave my house because I have to load my chair, and that's not a way to be. So, I got the picture is over on my Instagram if you want to see the picture. It's not the exact chair, but it is a very similar chair. Um, and it's only going to be about 20-ish pounds. Excuse me. It'll only be about 20 pounds. And that's, like, put together. Um, so I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully it will be here around February, I'm hoping. I'm going to call the first of the week and ask if they have an ETA on it. Just because it's made here in the United States and it's already been approved and everything, so I'm hoping to at least get, like, a deliver by date. So I have a general ballpark of when it's going to be here. And then I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with my old chair. I definitely will be doing a wheelchair tag and having my boyfriend have to go out and do, like, the groceries or do something like I have to do every day in a chair so he can feel how it feels to have to do so. Honestly, I might make him go to the mall in the chair, just because that's, like, the hardest challenge for me, because of how many people there are. And I feel like that would be the biggest challenge for him, would be to go to the mall. And then once that is done, I will be deciding if my chair is going to be retired and stored or is going to be donated to somebody who really needs my chair. So yeah, I don't know what's going to be going on with my chair. The thing is that it's getting parted out, so there's going to be parts missing. So the person who gets my chair is going to have to put some money into the chair, more than likely. So it's just something that we'll have to figure out when the time comes. It really just depends on what all is going on. But yeah. And the thing is I need my chair to get into my house. So I can't really have a chair in the house and then have a chair out of the house. So there's really no reason for me to have a secondary chair. It's just, like, there's really no point to it. Especially in the winter when it's, like, really dangerous for me to walk, because not only is it really hard for me to walk, but if I were to slip and fall, I go to the ER. Like, there's no in between. Honestly, probably not. The distance, I have to go all the way from my apartment through the halls, up an elevator, down the ramp, and all the way down to the end of the parking lot, in order to get to my car. I did get a designated parking spot, though. That was a fight. That was a fight, because I had to have the ability to load and unload my chair, and all the handicap spots were taken, and all the other spots were being taken, and I was having to be forced to park on the street. Well, I can't park on the street because I need to be able to I can't get up. There's no way to get up here from the street. So I have to park in the parking lot. So I was having to park illegally in order to get things out. So yeah, that was an interesting time. And after months of fighting, finally was able to get a reserved spot, which a resident Lovely tried to park in every chance that they got, and then got in a verbal altercation with me saying that they lived here longer and that we didn't have reserved spots when it has literally my apartment number on it, and it is a reserved spot. And then I had to call the police department. They didn't do anything, so then I had to call the property manager and have her come out here and basically tell her to move. And that she would be towed the next time she did it, because this is the 4th time it's happened. So yeah. Gotta love that. Yeah. It was fun. It was a great time. And it wasn't like there was no other parking spaces. She parked in the reserved parking space when literally there was a parking space right next to it. So, yeah. Yeah, most trailer homes aren't designed to have big enough doorways, which now new trailers and especially double wides are all mostly accessible. They aren't completely accessible, they don't have double wide doors, but they are large enough to fit a standard wheelchair. And I looked into multiple like pre-built homes, and it's not for me. We're gonna try and get a modified double wide to put on the property and finish it. Um, that's kind of what the plan is, because I would like to live on a property that's by my family home. Um, Mostly because I would then have access to like 80 acres. So hopefully in the future that will happen, but it's really hard because the property that I want is in limbo. And the issue is that the property was foreclosed on, and then that person died and the property was foreclosed on, and the next of kin had like nobody next of kin has claimed it. So technically that next of kin is alive, but they haven't claimed the property, so it's literally just stuck in limbo until they can either decide what happens to the next of kin, or the bank decides to completely like take it away and auction it off. Um, but until then, we don't know what to do, and it's been since probably 2012 that the property has been vacant and sitting. So they're in no rush. Um, but yeah. Denali. Hello, baby. Come here. Come here. You just got done eating some food, didn't you? Yeah. Come here. Oh, big stretch. His big swooshy tail. Oh, he's gonna go get a toy. Go get your baby. Go get baby. Or come up here. If you want up here. Make your choice. Or get baby and come up here. Hi. He doesn't know what he wants to do right now. Get it, Denali. He's just sitting there looking at it. I'm not getting up. You have to bring it to me if you want me to throw it. That was a beautiful belch. Get out of here. Ew. He always feels the need to burp on me. It's so gross. But yeah, excuse me. I also am really lucky to be getting the help that I need house-wise. I'm pretty lucky, like, assistance-wise, and getting the help that I need with, you know, everything going on with COVID. I'm very lucky to be getting help and keeping my head above water while all this is going on. It's been hell. I don't know if I've even talked about it. I got laid off because of COVID, and it's been practically impossible. No one wants to hire the cripple kid when it's not a pandemic, and people really don't want to hire the cripple kid when there is a pandemic. So yeah, it's kind of the boat that I'm stuck in right now. So I'm really hoping that things kind of start going back to normal and I can find a freaking job, if I can even go back to work, because right now, as it is looking, I am not going to be able to do so, health-wise, which really, really freaking sucks. But we're hoping maybe I can do something like work from home or do like some kind of call job. We do have at-home call centers, but I will tell you that it is mentally pressing, and you are treated like absolute shit daily. The call centers aren't for me. But if I could do like calls for a company here or do something like even an office job or like a receptionist or something like that. I love working retail. Honestly, I just want my freaking job back. Which luckily I'm rehirable and I could get my job back, but it's just like, I don't know. We will cross that bridge when it comes to it because I loved my job. I worked at Hot Topic for like 3 years. I loved my job. I loved my job so much. The company is a hellhole. Like, don't get me wrong. The company can be a real pain in the butt. But the people that I worked with were absolutely amazing. And most of the customers that I got to work with were awesome. And it was a very fun job. It's just dealing with the company that was difficult, being disabled for the most part. That I had some pretty crappy crappy people I've had to work with, but we've all had that. So it wasn't too bad as a whole. It definitely was very hard being in a chair and working there. I will say that. Yeah, I thought about working for the bank because there's several banks here that are actually looking for people, but none of their counters are high enough, and I don't think any of them are busy enough to have people like do the like computer or call things. So that's always fun. Denali. Oh, we got Nietzsche. He's getting so fuzzy. He's getting like a full winter coat going on right now, and he's so fluffy. Come here. He also has gained several pounds now that he's starting to fill out. Come here. Good. Hi, baby. Show everybody your cute face. Denali. No, come back. Come here. Come here. Little baby. Okay. Go get baby. Go get baby then. Get your rabbit. Get it. There you go. Ah, no. There we go. Well, where I live, nobody listens to anything ever, and like nothing has changed since the pandemic. So it's probably why we are in like the dark red and purple right now. So there's that. And I'm not I probably would be fine with IT stuff if like I learned, but it's not really my thing in particular. Kiki, quit. Quit headbutting my phone. Go on. Come up here. Come on. Come on, fuzzy butt. Jump up. Come on. Figure it out. Jump up here. Don't just give me the puppy dog eyes. Come up here. Come on. Alright, fine. Do whatever you want. He's gonna go get his rabbit. He can't decide if he wants to play with the rabbit out there or if he wants to come in here and chew the rabbit on the bed. And I wouldn't mind doing on the online dog training and stuff, but I'm a very hands-on person, and I feel like I can't properly assess what's going on and give the best help without handling the dog, because a lot of things that handlers say is going on is just them personifying or pushing what they think is going on onto the dog, and that's not actually what's going on, or the dog will act completely different when it's separated from the handler, and I can't tell what something is or how deep-seated something is while it's with the handler. So I can't assess what's going on without taking the animal myself and removing it from that situation. Um, that being said, I don't train people's dogs. I train people how to train their dogs. I can train dogs all day, every day. Like, that's not a problem, because I'll put in the work. It's a matter of getting other people to train their dogs is a whole other thing. You really do, you train people more than you train the dog. And to be fair, I've dealt with a lot of people that like think that something like awful is happening with their dog, and it's really just them being anxious and like not showing their dog anything proper to do, and they're just not showing the dog what it should be doing. So the dog just thinks that they can do whatever they want, and that's not what's going on. I definitely want to do a video on like the basics and just working on confidence building with dogs. But see, the thing is with confidence building is there's so many things that you can do confidence building wise, but it's really different with every dog that you do it with. Like, one thing might be really good for confidence building for one dog, and another it might flood and just make them completely shut down. So it's dog to dog, and it's really hard to make a video of here's how you build confidence when every dog is different. I have a very strong-willed, very brave, stubborn dog and breed in general, and what works for him definitely would not work for most golden retrievers or labs, or several other German shepherds that I've met. It just they're very soft. Denali is very stubborn and courageous and bullheaded. He can be very, very stubborn. He's still a very sensitive being, though, at heart. He's just he's a German Shepherd. Hey, quit headbutting. It's rude. This cat, man. Binksy. Kiki. You're killing me, Smalls. Like, you're killing me. Hi. Oh, hi. I love you too. Yes, I do. You're very cute. Now, please quit headbutting things. Quit headbutting things. Okay. He says, Mom, when are we going to bed? I know. Alright. I'm gonna have to go to bed at some point. So, I'm gonna try and get a video out, hopefully before the end of the month. If I feel up to it tomorrow, I might film a video and try and get it up, but it all depends. Again, I've been up for hours, and I probably am gonna sleep until much later tomorrow. So, yeah. Thank you all for hanging out and hearing all the shenanigans that has been going on in my life and why I haven't been on here. It's not that I don't love y'all, because I do. Yeah, I'm sorry, but beating the German Shepherd out of a German Shepherd isn't going to freaking work. It's just gonna make them reactive or shut down. Like, there is no in between. You're gonna get one of two options. You're gonna get a dog that is incredibly reactive, or you're gonna get a dog that's incredibly fearful and then becomes reactive. But it was nice hanging out with y'all. I'm going to move my cat, take my medication, and hopefully hopefully get some sweet, sweet sleep. I'm not hopeful. I probably won't. But, yeah. Alright. Well, I will hopefully see you guys next time.